Doing, guys? Danny K right back here with another video. Let's go. I'm over here in North Carolina. I'm over here in North Carolina, over here waiting at a receiver. Friday night, it's about like 9-10 o'clock on a Friday night, waiting to get offloaded. Yes, waiting to get offloaded. I'm here to talk about exchanging time for money and why most people do OTR, and my plans are as being an OTR truck driver. And right now, I'm exchanging time for money, but it's for bigger goals, for a bigger purpose. One is for me to have a big savings account. Number two is to be debt free. Well, number one is to be debt free. Two is to have a savings account. And I realize a lot of times most people get stuck on the road because I don't care who you are. While you're over the road, you're going to want to come back home. That's a fact. Especially if you have a family, an old lady. At a certain point, you're going to the road life. You're seeing all these places going to East Coast to West Coast. At some point, you're going to want to settle down. That's a fact. I don't care who you are. Okay, you might find the few people like, I'll stay on the road, but that's not the majority, that's the minority. Most people want to come back home. And what prevents most drivers from doing that is, one, they don't have enough savings. Number two, I think number one really, sorry, I'm messing up. Number one really is they have so many bills at home. And number two is lack of savings. And I'm saying this because I'm in that position right now. Because you have all these things that's eating away on your money, all this debt that affects your savings, you're not able to come home. And the truth of the matter is, OTR, you can make a decent living. Me, I'm a mid-tier company, and I'm not saying I'm the richest man, I'm living on a hog, but I make decent living if I run well. I make decent living. And the truth of the matter is, if you're making a decent living, you can't just take, especially as an OTR truck driver, you have this payment here, this payment here, this credit card here, this credit card here, this truck payment here, another payment over there, all these payments, super high rent, all these things that's chipping away from your freedom. And I said it again, I'm saying this because this has happened to me, and this is what I'm going through now. I have to pay off my debt. In order for me to get off the road, I have to have a certain amount of money saved. If you're in that position, in that situation, you have to exchange that time for money. So you end up being job locked. You end up being job locked where you, just because, and this is you made, and sometimes it could be outside of your control. Like me, I went to Western Express, that doing OTR, and I was getting trying to start saving some money. But then when I accepted a regional position, my paycheck got cut in half, went back into more credit card debt that I was paying off, and then now I'm with this company now. I had to restart that thing of paying off debt and doing this. I didn't foresee that, this company was going to come on paying half once I come home more. I didn't foresee that. I should have, because I had to be responsible for my life, and I'm going to have to deal with the consequences for me not seeing that. I'm going to have to deal with that. That's granted. But if I had an ample more savings than I originally had when I left OTR, I'll be able to see, okay, now if this is not working out, let me get out. Or if I had little to no debt or no debt at all, I would be like, okay, let me get out of this position. And I could go to a situation, to another job that more aligns with what I want to do. I didn't do that, so I had to go back to OTR. And there's not a way to complain or bash an OTR. All I'm saying is, some more point of time, you're gonna get tired of running here, running there, going all the way to the East Coast, all the way to the West Coast. You're driving everywhere. There's one point of time that you're gonna want to come home, and instead of me, I'm hitting this here. This is where I'm hitting. Okay, I want to come home. Probably it's because I'm married and have a little boy, but I'm like, okay, no, I need to get home in the next year or so. Next year or two, I need to get out of OTR, because this is not, for me being a good father, I don't think I'll be the best father than me being away 3-4 weeks at a time. That just does not make sense. Number two, I want to get paid a little bit more. I said I'm not getting paid bad, but I want to get paid a little bit more. I have about $2,000 to $3,000 after tax in order for this to be worth it for me. I said again, for me, I'm from New Jersey, so for me as a company driver, I don't think it's worth it for me being away from home, doing all this for 12, 15 after tax, 1,500, 12. No, I don't think it's not becoming worth it. Is it bad money? No, but am I okay? Nah, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more net. We're talking about net. You could gross $2,000 at this job that I'm working at now, but we're talking about nets after tax income. That's how much money I want in order for it to make sense for me to build a road. But even if I was getting that money, I'm not staying all over the road forever. Are you crazy? This is not... OTR was meant to do for a period of time. They're supposed to go to regional or local. You know, so me, I don't mind doing something regional or doing something local. I don't mind doing that because at least I'm home. I get to interact with my family, get to be with my family. I'm in the region. If you're OTR, you're all the way in Mexico, or not like New Mexico or California. I was just in New Mexico and Arizona. It's kind of hard to, if something happens, to just go back up where you need to. But if at least you're regional, if you're like, say, Northeast, I lived in the Northeast, you're in Massachusetts, PA, you could go and you're a day away, not even 10, no more than 15 hours away from the crib. So I want to be home more. And it's most drivers, you're going to want to be home more. But if you don't have your debts to the minimum or paid off debts, preferably no debts, especially an OTR driver, it doesn't make any sense to have debt. It does not make any sense. It does not make sense to have debt because you're away from home already. You want to have as much money to your pocket as possible. I was talking to my wife about this, and I paid off another debt. So my income, the money that's coming out, dropped from, it was at the beginning of the year, it was $3,500. Now it dropped down to right now my $2,700 now. $2,700 in monthly bills. And then when I pay off my wife's debt, that comes down to almost $2,400. And if I pay off all my debt, that's going to go down to, what is it? If I pay down all of it, it's going to be, what, less than $1,000 a month? And that's what we need. We need all the money come back into your pockets. Don't give all your money out. You're going to be stuck OTR if you just giving money out, giving money out, giving money out. And, you know, to debtors, to these creditors, you're just paying this, paying that, paying this, and you left to nothing of yourself. For example, I have 2 debts. One of them, both of those payments are $125 a month. That's $250. It may not seem like a lot, but that just adds on, adds on, adds on, adds on. It adds on. It adds up real quickly. Then you will have when they put the interest on it now. So you have to take care of all this, service all this. That delays you ability to get off the road. And that delays your ability to have savings and investments enough where you can be, okay, I can get off the road now and do something that's local or regional. You see? And I'm saying this because I said, I'm not demeaning any truck drivers. I'm not demeaning anybody. I'm saying this from what's happening to me. With me, I wanted to come back home. I should have never came back home, reality. But I didn't know what I don't know. But now me being OTR, I'm like, you have to have a plan of coming back home. You need to know what you're going to do. You need to get all your endorsements. You got to have a job lined up. You got to know what you want to do before you just come back home on a whim. You need to have your savings sorted out, and you need to have all your debts preferably paid off. For me, I want to be debt-free. That'll save me about $15,000 yearly once I become debt-free. That $15,000 that could be put in investment, that $15,000 that could put in savings. And that gives you freedom to say, I'm willing to leave. You having $50,000 saved up, $100,000 saved up, gives you that ability to say, I'm going to walk away. This is no longer serving me. But since you're in a situation where I'm speaking about me, that I'm like, okay, I got to stay here. I can't just up and leave right now. I'm not in a position to up and leave. Now you are job locked. And that's just that's everybody. That's not even in trucking. I'm speaking about trucking because I'm a truck driver right now. But that's everywhere. If you are over leveraged or you have a lot of payments that's getting outside of your check, money that's not coming towards you or your family, money that's leaving to pay other people, you're going to stay in that situation or that job for a longer period of time. But if you have all that paid off and you have money saved up, you could be in a position to say, no, I'm not doing this. And that gives you more opportunities. For example, me right now, although I had to take care of my health, and that's it. I'm not talking about OTR or trucking because this trucking job, when I get surgery, it's going to pay for my surgery. I almost have to pay probably $1,000 for my surgery. Going to take care of my lower pec. And once I get approved for short-term disability, I'm going to have disability while taking care of myself. So this not means of demeaning or hate. If you're a truck driver, that's an honest career and you're making money, you're being you're being a productive member of society. Nothing would be here without you. For example, me, I'm delivering some pipe. This is a pipe that goes to big warehouses, big machineries, big refineries. Without you having your gas or without you having your juices, this needs to be brought in for you to have that. So I am thankful, but I realize a lot of times if you're a truck driver, you're spending time away from your family, doing all this. You need to have as much money to yourself. At least you should have that, in my opinion. As much money as you're making back to yourself, because everybody's after you. You got to pay this, got to pay that, got to pay this, got to pay that. No, you want to have at least as much money as you can to yourself. To yourself. And that's been my goal right now. Since it's been my goal last year, even before when I was talking to my wife, I met my wife, I was telling her, yeah, my goal is I'm gonna stay at this job till I pay off all my debt and have at least $50,000 to $100,000 saved up. Now I have a kid, we're dropping that down to probably 20, 30. But $50,000 ideally saved up, cash in the bank. That's not including investments, just cash in the bank is when I could be like, okay, I'm gonna come home local or regional. Or I'm gonna leave home every other day or every day. Because I'm like, okay, me spending time with my family, you gotta pay me a premium. And the market will determine what you get paid. And I realize that if you're a truck driver, you need to get all your endorsements, you need to leverage yourself, you need to be the best qualified employee as you could be. Or even as an owner operator if you have your own truck. But that's neither here nor there. But me, I have that number. Pay off debt. I'm all over the place right now. The video getting a little bit long with it. Pay off your debt. And that's where I'm at right now. That's again, I'm at right now. I'm taking care of my health. I'm getting paid for it. But paying off my debt is key for freedom. Not even financial freedom, but personal freedom. When I'm spending, I'm on Friday night. I'm not with my lady. I'm not with my little boy. I'm over here in North Carolina. Because of the choices I made and things not even outside my control. But once you have an ample amount of savings, that's a good hedge bet against what the world could do or whatever happens in the world. Me having the savings, I go to a local job and it's not what they promised me, I'm up and leaving and getting something else. I'm not going to stay there. But since, for example, when I was with Western Express and they cut my pay in half, I couldn't do nothing until I came to this job. Even me coming to this job, I had to be like, oh yeah, I'm on vacation, came to this job, get paid my vacation, and get paid here. But if I had the savings I needed to have and had no debt, I could weather that storm, stay at Western until I find something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to go back OTR, but I had no choice because I'm like, if I couldn't keep living like this, I couldn't keep staying at Western Express with my pay I couldn't have and keep my apartment, keep the things I had at the time. I couldn't do that. So I had to come to this company so I could take care, service my debt, pay all this, and do what I got to do. But if I had no debt, I could have stayed at Western Express, stayed there, okay, take that little financial hit, because I could have paid, if I just had my rent and my car payment and insurance, I could have survived that. But I had all these other payments I had to make. And then now, since I had all these payments, I had to use credit card, rob Peter to pay Paul, that's putting me further in the hole. And this is a story that I'm coming from myself, from yours truly. This is just the honest truth. And I'm speaking from what even me talking to the truck drivers, or even other people, but mostly truck drivers, is that, yeah, you have debt. You have this car payment, you have this debt, a whole bunch of debt that you do have that you have to pay off. And savings that you don't have. You can't come off the road if you have less than $10,000 in your savings. That's just stupidity. So, me personally, I'm exchanging time for money, which is needed right now. But I do have a number in mind. I do have a goal in mind. So I could come back and be with my family a little bit more. Be with my family more. And for me to even, if I want to start a truck company, do that. Or even get to something else, do that too. But that's why a lot of people, especially OTR drivers, they stay OTR. They don't have enough savings. They got a whole bunch of debt coming out. And they're just spending too much money. They're not living less than what they make, and they're not saving money. They're not putting money away for when they're going to get off the road. Because that's one thing I could promise you. Every truck driver, every older guy I talked to always said, yeah, you're going to want to come back home. Unless you're an owner-operator. If you're an owner-operator, it's a little bit different because you're making way more money and it makes sense. But if you're a company driver, it makes sense for you to come back home. At a certain point in time, you're going to want to come back home. But you won't be able to if you always have a lot of payments. You're living high on the hog, you have an OTR expenses, and you want to have a local job. No. The expense has to correlate. And also, you want to have more money in your savings. But anyway, this is a short video. I feel like I was all over the place. I need to eat something. It's been a hectic day today. It's been a long day. Can't wait to see my family. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you learned. Out.